Legate Minister Lord Caudecus Beetlestone the Wise, a man with a long history and a long career that has granted him much power amongst the kingdoms of man. In the earliest years of this cunning man's life, Caudecus married a member of the Wee family, a cousin of Lady Wee of which is now a powerful noble of Divinity's Reach. Together, the two had a single child, Demi Beetlestone. Caudecus's rise to power began with his service during the War of Ascalon Independence, the conflict between the Char and humanity, where he eventually rose to the rank of general and commanded troops in the conflicts against the Char, growing a deep hatred towards the Char as he saw his fellow countrymen die by their claws. With the eventual truce signed between the Char legions and humanity, as well as a soon-to-be treaty, Caudecus opposed the truce and treaty with all of his heart, holding the Char in contempt and believing that humanity should have the lands of Ascalon. With the power and popularity that he had already gained, he was able to rise to the seat of Legate Minister within the Crichton Ministry, the seat that is the leader of the ministry, who speaks to the Queen of Crida on behalf of the ministry, and to whom the leader of the ministry guard directly reports to. With his power in the realm of Crita, his desire for more power, and his opinions that are opposite to that of Queen Jenna, a woman who holds a desire for peace and strongly supports a treaty between the Char and humanity, Caudecus is the largest political rival to the throne of Crida, where he believes that Jenna's status is weak, that her views on the Char undermine her position of power, a position that has lost much of the support of the nobility, and with the war against the centaurs as well as the bandits plaguing the hills of Crida, many people across the kingdom hold little faith in their queen, a situation that Caudecus consistently works to exploit. Alongside Caudecus's position in Divinity's Reach, he has done much to help the Shire of Beetlestone, located in Queensdale, using his power and wealth to expand the town, build himself a home there, and hire many guards to defend the Shire. Because of the defenses, the Shire is infrequently attacked by the centaurs, allowing the people who live here to live in relative peace, and overlooking the Shire is Caudecus's manor, his large estate that features his large home with many winding halls, many rooms, many secrets, and more. Caudecus also expanded the influence of the carnivals in Divinity's Reach, allowing him to amass a fortune which only gives him more power and more money to spend on various services like keeping Beetleton safe, as well as any other activity that the Legate Minister wishes to fund. Years after rising to the position of Legate Minister, Caudecus's wife was killed by pirates, which left Caudecus as a widower and the single parent to their daughter Demi. Father, a title that is one of Caudecus's weakest. His relationship with his daughter was strenuous at best, where Caudecus himself is an incredibly controlling individual, which can be reflected in his relationship with Demi, where in his wife's passing, he placed a tracking enchantment on his wife's necklace that his daughter now always wore in order to keep track of his daughter's movements at all times, a tracker that Demi would not find out about until years later. In her mother's absence, Lady Wee became the godmother to Demi and mentored her while her father was busy. In the year 1319 AE, Caudecus was present when Queen Jenna made the human gladiator Logan Thackeray her personal champion, a man who had grown in popularity with his own conquests and has now grown a relationship with the young Queen of Crida, where Logan was now sworn to protect his queen from peril and that any individual who threatened the safety and security of Jenna would meet dire consequences by the hands of the Guardian. A year later, when Dylan Thackeray, the captain of the Seraph, died during the Ogre Revolt, and Logan Thackeray abandoned his guild Destiny's Edge to defend his queen, Logan was named as the new captain of the Seraph in Divinity's Reach, a series of events that festered a fascination of Logan within the Legate Minister. Caudecus has always had a distaste towards the Seraph as well as having a firm control of the Ministry Guard, where he built a strong connection with a member of the Ministry Guard, Serentine, through a mutual distaste of the Seraph after the Seraph took over a case that she was investigating, who Serentine then rose to become commander of the Ministry Guard and was incredibly loyal to the Legate Minister. In the year 1325 AE, multiple events began happening around Crida that began to raise suspicion on Caudecus and his potential involvement with criminal organizations around Crida. But while the Seraph and the Shining Blade were able to consistently stop several plots from unfolding in Crida and neutralize several threats who are closely connected to Caudecus, there was never enough evidence to prove that Caudecus was directly involved with any of these situations, which prevented the Seraph and the Shining Blade from arresting the Legate Minister. Where several bandit operations, the captain of the Falcon Company, the framing of Minister Arton, Minister Zamon's involvement with the bandits, and more are all events connected to Caudecus. During these events, Caudecus also learned about an assassination plot that was being organized by the White Mantle, an ancient Crichton organization founded by Saw de Lesio, who came to rule Kryta with an iron fist while being manipulated by the Mersat. They controlled Kryta for years, sacrificed innocent civilians to grant power to their unseen gods, and fought against the Shining Blade, who were once a royalist rebellion organization that opposed the rule of the White Mantle. The conflicts between these two organizations eventually led to the Crichton Civil War, where the Shining Blade eventually won, restoring the monarchy in Kryta, with the Shining Blade becoming the crown's defenders. And with the White Mantle having faced many defeats, including the loss of the Crichton Civil War, it was thought that the White Mantle were no more. But in reality, the organization had continued to live on as various humans continued to join the organization, where a new White Mantle confessor by the name of Esto was leading the White Mantle in an assassination attempt that was eventually prevented by the Shining Blade, thanks to Caudecus' tip, where Esto was defeated and a White Mantle cell was neutralized. Sometime after these events, Caudecus' daughter Demi began to rebel against her father, where the young noble departed from Beetleton and defected to the Order of Whispers. Lightbringer Tibble Leftpaw and a new member of the Order were dispatched to recover Demi Beetlestone to give her asylum in trade of what she knows about her father's shady dealings, where the two eventually rescued Demi and protected her against the ministry guards sent by Caudecus to retrieve her daughter and bring her back to him, where the Order were able to fully grant Demi asylum, freeing her from the grasps of her father. Frustrated by her daughter's betrayal, Caudecus had learned that Lady Wee was involved with Demi's actions. Interested in revenge, Caudecus set his eyes on Lady Wee's young and impressionable daughter, Villette Wee, who was friends with Demi, providing her with a variety of different expensive gifts and having several private meetings with her as he manipulated the young girl. After Demi's betrayal, Caudecus hosted a party at his estate to celebrate the human Char de Dante, where many different diplomats from across Tyria were invited to the manor, including Meal Kindleshot of the Iron Legion, Sigfast of Holbrack, and Queen Jenna herself. Logan was very concerned about potential security concerns for the Queen, to the point that he invited adventurers to the party as an extra precaution should something go wrong. Caudecus promised that this celebration would feature a new invention by Uzalon, his own personal inventor, a renowned human engineer who is most well known for having acquired the floating Griswold from the Inquest, a device that was able to brainwash and hypnotize others. This device was used by separatists in a plot to kill Queen Jenna, but were successfully stopped by Logan and the adventurers prior to this party. While Uzalon could not be directly connected to the plots of the separatists, Logan was incredibly suspicious about Uzalon's true nature. As the party of adventurers arrived to the manor, they were greeted by Caudecus' servants. Upon entering the central courtyard, the party was then greeted by the Seraph Captain Logan Thackeray, as well as the Queen herself, Queen Jenna.
Your Majesty, I'm not sure you and the ambassador should have come here.
That's ridiculous, Captain. This is the perfect place to celebrate the détente with the Char.
There are separatists that want this treaty torn apart, and for all we know, Caudecus is in cahoots with them.
Minister Caudecus is loyal to the crown, even if he and I disagree.
He is loyal to the crown, true, but I wonder if he's loyal to the head it rests upon.
Do you need any help here?
Yes, I don't trust some of the guests. Ask around and see what you turn up on Caudecus, but be subtle.
The party then wandered around the courtyard, chatting, mingling, and spying on all the guests, getting bits of information from all the servants, and collecting all of the intel they could before returning to Logan.
From what you've told me, this kind of deviltry stinks of Caudecus.
I disagree. The inventor Uzalon is obviously up to something.
Then we should confront both of them.
Fine. If that's the plan, we should check with this Uzalon first. Maybe he'll tell us more about his employer.
As Logan approached Uzalon to confront the inventor, Uzalon brought forth a massive prototype golem to attack the party, while many of the guests were captured and taken away via mesmer portals. The golem is incredibly intricate in design and incredibly powerful as well. Whereas the group was able to dismantle the machine, the group came up with a plan.
Jenna! It killed her!
Hold your tears, Logan. She and the others are fine. That golem used a teleportation ray on them.
Teleported? Where?
Oh, so now you need my help. Let's see, it looked like a short-range teleporter. I can track the energy signature. Hang on.
Tracking the energy signatures brought the party to a mysterious man protecting a door deeper in the manor.
One side, we're coming through.
No one gets in here. Uzalon's orders.
Uzalon is a traitor. Stand aside.
As the door guard was defeated, the party breached the door itself and discovered many separatists hiding around throughout the manor. Humans who do not believe in the treaty that humanity signed with the Char, and who believe that Queen Jinna sold out their people.
Who just attacked us?
Separatist scum trying to sabotage the Char-human treaty. Uzalon must be working with them. And I'd bet my left arm that Caudecus is also involved.
As the party worked their way through the manor, fighting off separatist after separatist, they came across Uzalon.
Quickly, you fools! My plan has been revealed! You have the Queen and the others! Now save me!
As the separatists tied up a loose end with Uzalon, they turned their attention to the party and met the same fate as dozens prior. As the party progressed forward, they were informed that they were not welcomed in the manor.
You're not welcome here. You're not welcome here. You're not welcome. You're not welcome here. Go back to your party.
But they continued forward and eventually found one of the lost guests captured by the separatists, the Norn Sigfast, one of the sons of Newt Whitebear and one of the leaders of the Wolfborn.
Wench, bring more beer. Oh, it's only you. I was having a wonderful dream. They must have taken your human queen and the Char up this passage. I'll return to the party and tell the others what happened. Good luck.
The party then found another one of the guests.
Calm down and keep that Char in the cage. Boss says she lives until they're done with the queen. Then we can kill her.
Mia Kindleshot, a tribune of the Iron Legion, who helped put the Ebonhawk Treaty in place.
They took the queen further up the valley. I believe they mean to kill her. Lead, and I will follow.
Upon saving the other guests and defeating more separatists, the party eventually found Queen Jinna holding out in a canyon beyond the manor.
Fools! You've let her slip her bonds.
Don't worry, she can't keep that shield up forever. The moment she drops it, she'll be ours.
Surrounded by separatists, including their leader Captain Delana, a separatist who was born in the nation of Ascalon and fought in the War of Ascalon Independence under the leadership of General Caudecus Beetlestone, an individual who felt betrayed by Queen Jinna and Ebonhawk's Wade Samuelson, who formed the Separatists to continue their war against the Char. As the group saved the queen from the Separatists, Logan was able to reunite with his queen, but not before Caudecus appeared.
What is going on here? Your Majesty, I'm so glad we've found you. And you, Logan, I see you've found us as well. It seems we were both on the trail of the same kidnappers.
Caudecus! I knew you were in on this. You were working with the Separatists.
Me? I was a victim here. I had no idea what Uzalon was up to.
You lie! You're under arrest.
Logan, I believe Caudecus is innocent.
Your Majesty, you can't take his side.
Caudecus is guilty of many things, Captain, but he was not responsible here. The Separatists were planning to capture him as well.
Capture? Me? Then I am in your debt for keeping me safe, Your Majesty.
Also, for your own protection, you should stay in my palace. Temporarily, of course. I insist.
There's no... I'm sure... Certainly, Your Majesty. I would be honored.
Your Majesty! Jenna, are you serious?
Very serious, Captain. I think it best the minister stays where I can keep an eye on him. For his own safety.
Then I should remain as well. To help keep an eye on him.
No. No need for that. I appreciate your rescue, but you have your own journey. One that leads beyond Divinity's reach.
There are dangers that threaten you here.
There are dangers that face all of us, Logan. All of our world. There are things only you can do.
You're right. So much has been left unfinished. Much to make amends for. I should go.
And I will be waiting for your return.
As Caudecus was taken into the Queen's palace, he was able to be protected by the Shining Blade and also be in a place where Jinna would be able to keep an eye on him. Where following the events of the Separatist attack in Caudecus' manor, not much was heard by the Pale Minister for some time. In the year 1329 AE, shortly after the death of the Elder Dragon Mordremoth, Caudecus Beetlestone had mysteriously disappeared from the palace grounds of Divinity's Reach, having seemingly fled what was essentially Shining Blade custody. The Shining Blade organization sent a variety of officers west into the heart of Maguma to find the missing minister. One of these Shining Blade officers was Canuck, The Savari, who messed up a bunch of stuff in Salton Cove, was basically put under indentured servitude in service to the leader of the Shining Blade, and who joined the newly named Guild of Dragon's Watch on their quest to defeat Mordermoth and rescue Pact prisoners. Canuck met up with the commander and a few other members of Dragon's Watch who were meeting with the Asura and Radonovus, as well as General Almora Soulkeeper, who appeared to speak with the commander and their guildmate Urthok Brimstone. Canuck explained the situation that was going on to the group, and Almora offered the aid of her soldiers and her airship to transport them to a suspected location of the Minister, one of the Bloodstones, a powerful stone that, in short, has been infused with magics over the past millennia by different forces and has responded mysteriously to the magics unleashed by the death of Mordermoth, and had been used by the White Mantle centuries prior. As the group flew north, all seemed normal until suddenly...
Commander's destination ahead. Looks like we're in for quite a ride.
We're not flying into that scramble, are we?
By gods, grow a backbone. Scared of a little weather? All hands, full reverse! On your feet. We survived. Somehow.
In the aftermath of the explosion, the group was able to reorient themselves to their newly formed surroundings and work to help Almora's troops. This led them to several missions across Bloodstone Fen in their search for why the Bloodstone had exploded, as well as the whereabouts of Caudecus. All around the Fen was a large amount of White Mantle troops, most of which were driven mad by the magics of the Bloodstone. The White Mantle was once a prominent cult that had begun surging in numbers recently. The cultists had built up large strongholds in the Forsaken Thicket just north of where Bloodstone Fen is located to work towards bringing back their last unseen god, the Mersat, Lazarus the Dire, to which the events of the Forsaken Thicket would suggest that they may have been successful. The commander's adventures took them around Bloodstone Fen and eventually led them to a dilapidated White Mantle temple floating in the sky. They rallied with a few members of their guild and began to work their way up the temple steps and further into this White Mantle compound, fighting back White Mantle, the Twisted Jade constructs, and a variety of traps. They eventually found their way to the top, heard Caudecus yelling on the other side of a large door, and broke open the door to confront the minister.
Why do I feel like I'm repeating myself? You follow my orders! I don't know where these delusions are coming from. There is one White Mantle. Do you hear me? One!
Minister, I understand, but...
Quiet! Now tell me again what this pile of rocks can do. Are there magic words? How powerful is it? Well?
That's him, all right.
Reminds me of a boss I had at the cotton candy stands when I was younger.
Everyone ready to crash his party? Time for your foot key, Commander. Minister Caudecus, you've obviously been taken prisoner by these White Mantle zealots. I'm here to rescue you and return you to the royal palace.
Let's drop the charade, shall we, you ignorant leaf? I will not be returning to Divinity's Reach until I wear the crown.
So I'm clear. You're admitting you're associated with the White Mantle?
Are you quite touched? I'm their supreme leader, and they will carry me all the way to the throne of Kryta.
Commander, did you witness that?
I did.
Then by the providence granted to me by Countess Anise, I hereby pass sentence on you, Caudecus Beetlestone. Today is your last day on Tyria. Allow my blade to bid you farewell.
Get them! Turn this thing on!
Caudecus Beetlestone, the once general in the war for Ascalon independence and the Legate Minister of the Krytan Ministry, is the confessor, the leader of the reborn modern-day White Mantle. The White Mantle's plans and actions over the past decades have been under the leadership of Caudecus, who he himself worked to support and draw attention away from himself and others. Countless lost lives, the abundance of bandit-trained Kryda, and a reforged White Mantle, all under the command of Caudecus. But Caudecus was betrayed. A group of White Mantle led by High Inquisitor Zera in the Forsaken Thicket had worked to revive Lazarus. Caudecus wanted to lead the White Mantle into a new age, to throw away their past religious fanaticism and conquer Kryda for himself, but the existence of the White Mantle's prime deity would complicate those goals.
You will not stop me! The Crichton throne was built upon White Mantle blood, and we are its rightful heirs.
You are a heretic, Caudecus, and you shall lead no White Mantle, for I am their god.
What? It can't be.
I am the last Mersat. Many years ago, you knew me as Lazarus the Dire. I have returned from the brink of existence.
No! You are a false god! The White Mantle is mine! Don't listen to him!
Empty words, formed by the forked tongue of a snake. The human seat of power and its current monarch are inconsequential. We are destined to face more virtuous pursuits. My true believers, you're welcome to seek shelter in my light. To those who doubt, you're welcome to burn.
Canuck, go now!
Don't stand there with your mouth agape! Get me out of here!
No!
As Lazarus disappeared from the scene, the commander would have a variety of interactions with him in the future. Alongside with Lazarus disappearing, Caudecus escaped with the help of the young mesmer Lady Valette, Demi's friend, who had been manipulated by Caudecus over the years. As the pack commander and their friends were able to deal with the threat at hand, they sat and discussed the events that happened. There was a lot going on in the world that would call their attention, Lazarus being one, but the threat of Caudecus Beetlestone would be addressed in the following months. Caudecus quickly began work to prevent a further schism in his organization, who addressed his people and made sure the number of White Mantle who would leave Caudecus and confess themselves to Lazarus would be minimal. Alongside this time, it was rumored that Caudecus had taken a trip to the Isles of Janthier, an important location for the Mersat, but the reasons for this trip is mostly unknown. But what is known is his propaganda campaign against Queen Jinna that occurred, how the White Mantle was strengthening their forces and preparing for some sort of assault. The time came when the commander was conveniently meeting with Queen Jinna in the upper gardens of Divinity's Reach. The White Mantle launched a massive attack at once, breaking a northern dam that blocked the waters of Lake Doric, which led to the flooding of the town and lands north of Divinity's Reach. Countless barrages began to rain down upon Divinity's Reach, but was quickly blocked by the power of Queen Jinna, who summoned a shield to block the attack. And a group of White Mantle, led by the Crichton minister Estelle, launched a direct attack upon the Queen, but was promptly defeated by the commander. With the city of Divinity's Reach stabilizing and protected by Jinna's shield, this allowed the commander, the Shining Blade, and the Seraph to turn their attention to the attacking forces. Lake Doric had mostly been drained by the broken dam, and much of the lands surrounding the lake were taken over by White Mantle forces. As the defenders pushed out of Divinity's Reach and into the country, they were able to launch a counteroffensive and engage in multiple different attacks against the White Mantle. This eventually led to the formation of a plan for Demi Beetlestone, Caudecus' own daughter, to lead an infiltration mission alongside the commander, as well as the leader of the Shining Blade Anise, through a back entrance to Caudecus' manor, located near the Hidden Falls dock. As this happened, the Seraph, led by Logan Thackeray, would lead a frontal siege upon the manor to break through the White Mantle and work towards the minister turned confessor. As the three infiltrated the manor, they fought through a large variety of White Mantle and bandit forces, fighting back champions, including a super cool necromancer that summoned skeletons, which is an ability I want player necromancers to have, freeing Canuck, and eventually working their way into the manor proper, where as a group approached the center of the manor, they came across Caudecus and Lady Valette.
Caudecus, you have to stop! It's over!
Who's this? An imposter of my lost daughter?
Imposters all around me!
You look like Demi, but you can't be. She's dead. She died the day she betrayed me. just like her backstabbing mother, who I had stabbed in the back.
Father! Murderer! Valette! Please! You have to see it's pointless now. It's done!
Shut up! She's mine. She'd never forsake Daddy.
Anyone else utterly disturbed by that?
After a moment, Caudecus stammered.
But I can fix it. We'll try again. You and your mother. I'll see you both in the mists.
No!
We'll be a family again.
Demi!
The group did not have much time to react to what happened and quickly began to combat the White Mantle Confessor, fighting back against his powerful martial and magical attacks. The Confessor had become more and more unhinged, as is evident by his rant as he murdered his own daughter, but he had been consuming more and more bloodstone, the magical substance that had driven many White Mantle mad in the Bloodstone Fen, the substance that turned a powerful White Mantle into an abomination in the Forsaken Thicket, and Caudecus himself, desperate, retreated to what is likely one of many rooms where he fantasizes about himself, and turned into a massive, lumbering abomination. He lashed out against the commander, but the commander, having plot armor and using the power of the bloodstones laid around the room, was able to bring down the Confessor, ending the life of Caudecus Beetlestone and defeating the White Mantle cult. There's not much to say about the aftermath of Caudecus. Additional actions were taken against the White Mantle that led to the near dismantlement of the cult, but whether or not they are permanently gone is always up for debate, because the ideals of the organization can be reborn. The position of Lord of Beetleton was given to the noble Lord Farron, while the position of Legate Minister was given to the Honorable Minister Wee, and with the death of Demi and Caudecus, the Beetlestone line had come to an end. As the battle cooled down, the commander and their friends were able to explore the manor more peacefully, allowing them to learn more about the actions Caudecus had done over the years, and learning more about how twisted of a man Caudecus really was, and his obsession with one Logan Thackeray, because he had many paintings of him in his manor, and above his bed he had this. And given what we already know about him, yeah. For the sanity of Logan, it is a good thing that Caudecus is dead. Thank you for watching this lore and story video about Caudecus Beetlestone. I really do hope you enjoyed. It's been a while since I made a longer story video in Guild Wars 2, and I've had a ton of fun with this. Hopefully I will be able to continue making more in the future. If you enjoyed this video, it would mean a lot to me if you subscribed, especially since only about 12% of my viewers are subscribed. I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. Have a good one, everyone.